All right, we're back, baby. Episode 32, season one. What do we got? Two episodes left or one episode left?
I
One
think we
episode.
got one college basketball episode left, and one like maybe a spring football post NFL draft wrap.
Yeah, that would be a spring football and maybe a little portal talk too during that
Right,
because there's going to be a lot
right,
of portal conversation. Once spring football is over, a bunch of dudes go into the portal.
right,
It opens
right,
again for football. So, all right, guys who don't think they're going to play, they're
right,
all right. So, we got one Cinderella in there, which
right.
there's always one, which is good. Sometimes there's more than one, but yeah, the one thing I'll say about that NC State team, man, they look pretty unbeatable. What do you think? I mean, they're pretty fucking good.
I mean, yeah, they're definitely rolling. They I think once they beat Duke in the ACC first round, their confidence shot up,
Yeah,
and they were out hunting teams. And
yeah,
they're they played great. I mean, they had a little luck against Virginia, but you always need a little luck.
right. In the ACC tournament, yeah,
Yeah,
they did. They did. Virginia missed a couple free throws at the end there that could have
right,
sealed the deal.
right,
But that being said, man, this team is built completely of transfer portal dudes.
right,
All seven of their guys who play, and they only play seven, no one else plays,
right,
all portal guys, all like either graduates, you know, um, graduate guys or 4-year guys, or they're all like upperclassmen,
right,
which is interesting, right?
right, right.
Um, and then I looked up a few more teams after I saw that. I thought, what the hell? Purdue only has one. Lance Jones is a pretty big contributor for them.
Right,
UConn has four guys in their top seven.
right.
Cam Spencer, who's a double transfer guy.
Yeah,
He went to Rutgers and Rutgers to UConn. And then Bama has five transfers in their top eight.
right, right.
So
Yeah.
no more homegrown talent, Nick? What's going on?
I guess it's a whole new world. I mean, whether you like it, you don't like it, it's just a whole different situation now. It's open season. Guys are, leaving, joining, holding out for the best offer, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's much different than even 4 years ago, and it's a whole new ball game. And we just, like you said, we just have to see where things settle out.
Yeah, you gotta. I figured this out the last couple of years. You got to root for a university, not the players. I used to love the players,
Right,
but a 4-year player now is probably unimaginable. Julian Reese from Maryland staying for his fourth year, which is unbelievable to me that he stuck around. I'm
right,
really happy that he stuck around. It shows his loyalty towards Maryland because
right,
I know there are other teams that could pay him more money.
right,
But he looked at it as, hey, the money's important, but it's not the most important thing. Um,
right,
so I do think that the portal, what it does is a team like NC State, who had no prospects, brings in some dudes and they gel together. And next you know, you got a full-blown team of a bunch of seniors who have 4 years experience. They're all grown men and they're
right,
flying around and they click at the right moment, right before the
right.
SEC tournament. And now they're on a roll. I think they're going to be tough to beat, man. I think Purdue Purdue might be in trouble.
All
Just saying.
right, hey, you've been
Um,
right. You've been doing great this tournament. Great
yeah,
picks.
yeah. I mean,
We'll keep riding it.
and UConn, we called in the middle of the year. We thought UConn could repeat, right? Remember us talking about it?
Yeah,
We thought,
yeah,
wow, they're really good, man. Dominating the Big East, which is a tough conference. And we thought, yeah, this team could go all the way. Um, and here they are, and they are rolling people. I mean,
right,
rolling people with just fast break, dunks,
right,
post ups, dunks, pick
right,
dunks. It's not even
right.
killing them from the 3-point line because I think they shoot the three, but not. They'd rather just pound you, right? I mean, it's unbelievable how good they were the other night. I'm. I mean, Illinois is a pretty good team. We like Illinois too. I
Right,
mean,
right.
I
Illinois is a
like
top
them.
10 team. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked them early in the year. I thought they were they had a lot of good guys. They look like junior varsity versus UConn's team.
Right,
High school junior varsity, that is, not even college junior varsity. I mean,
right.
um,
I mean, there was, and Illinois is they're sort of in a shambles a week later after the game. They have guys coming in, guys leaving.
yeah,
You know,
they're done. They're done
yeah,
next year, unless Underwood comes in and picks up a bunch of dudes in the portal, which he can do, which he's done. And
right,
they have money and they don't mind spending. So they're a basketball school, so they will spend money on hoops. I mean, they paid him a big salary when they came there, which was
right,
he was kind of unproven from Okie State. But he's done well there, and I think they ran into a buzzsaw, man. I mean,
right.
unfortunately for them, UConn just was unbelievable.
Yeah, 30-0 run, man. That's crazy.
To start the second half, yeah, and then it was like dunk, dunk,
Right,
fast break, dunk,
right,
block shot, dunk. I mean, it was, it looked like the old UNLV teams, what it looked like, right?
right,
Just
right.
like dominating, dominating.
Yeah,
Um, so all right, one little question I had here. Why do I still hate Duke? I know you still hate him too.
I still
And a
hate him.
lot of people hate him. I don't know what it is, man. I just still hate him. I still root so hard against them. I don't think I don't think Shire's as punk ass as Coach K was. Shire is trying to be more personable than Coach K ever was. Uh,
Right,
but I don't know. I still hate him. I don't know what it.
right. No, like,
I don't
you
know.
just hate them because I mean, part of it is you envy their success, man. They've
Yeah,
won so much.
yeah.
What is it? Ever 5 national titles or something?
I
And
got
it's
some
just,
scar tissue too from the
you
past.
know, yeah. I mean, you know, all those old Maryland games, and it was just the 2001 those two games by themselves. I mean, we both needed therapy for that.
Yeah, I went for a long walk after that Final Four
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
I wasn't good. But I'm finding out that more schools hate Duke too, not just Maryland guys.
yeah,
So I find that comfort in that I have some people
yeah,
sleeping with me at night.
yeah.
All right, so NCAA president is aiming to ban all prop bets. I don't know what to make of that, Nick. Prop
I
bets
mean,
are a part of the betting. Why not just ban all betting? But no, no, no. No, because now betting's so entrenched into the sponsorships, into the money making of the NCAA that they're not going to ban all betting. They just
right.
want to bet prop bets. What do you make of that?
I
Ridiculous.
mean, I think Charlie Baker, the NCAA guy, I think I think they used to be Treasury Secretary or something like that. So he's a bright guy. I mean, I can understand where he's coming from. He's like, this is getting way out of hand. We can't really police the proposition betting because people can, it's easy to get away with, I guess, and they're worried about it. There are reasons that there was a ban on gambling or for years and decades. You know,
Well, any gambling they should be worried about, not just the prop
right,
bets, but they
right,
can't eliminate all of it because number one,
right,
it's illegal.
right,
But number two, Nick, it's prop bets are just a small piece of what a team does.
right,
We talked about this. A ref can turn a game on a dime. A
right,
player can turn a game on dime. We saw some weird stuff in football this year, and I saw
right,
some
right,
weird stuff during the tournament this year. I mean, I didn't really watch the lines that closely during the tournament. I should have, but when I was in Peru, I didn't keep up with it to be honest, because I was on
right,
vacation. But
right,
I'd like to look back on it and see what happened, maybe watch some highlights at the end of some games, see where the line was falling.
right,
Because it's not just prop bets. That's what I'm saying. I think it's kind of hypocritical to say we got to ban
right,
prop. Once you
right,
ban all betting, then you
right,
might be up to something. But that's not going to happen because there's too much money involved now. I mean,
right.
in the state of Maryland, there was $100 million worth of bets placed in the month of March.
Yeah.
$115 in one state.
Right.
I mean, our schools are still not great, so I don't know where that money's going, supposed to go to the schools, right, Nick?
Right.
Higher education, let's give it to the schools and help out.
Right.
I don't see that happening. I mean, I have some teacher friends of mine who have to still buy pencils and erasers for their classroom because the school will not provide them with any supplies. They're buying it out of their
Right.
pocket. Ridiculous.
Right.
All right. So
So
Washington, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. So yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. I mean, part of it is, I think the pro leagues like the NFL, Major League Baseball, the NBA, they jumped into this betting with both feet. They were like, yeah, more money, more
Right,
money.
right,
They were like, yeah, put the casino at the game in the stadium, you
right.
know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
that was a mistake. We'll see.
yeah. All right. So Washington, gets hosed by Nebraska, right?
Right.
So then Washington says, "Hey, let's go kick our little brother in the teeth," and
Right.
they pick Washington State's AD. I
Right.
mean, is this the ADs? Are they like moving chairs now? Is this musical chairs for
Yeah,
ADs?
yeah. It's all, now it's everybody wants the best deal. It's open season. There's no loyalty involved anymore now. It's just go get paid.
Unbelievable,
Right.
unbelievable that they would go right there after. There's definitely some bad blood there now, right? I mean,
Oh
now,
yeah, yeah. Well, there's
and
always been bad blood, but now there's like, pure sheer hatred.
what do we have with the Pac-12, Nick? Finally, it's
So,
over. The agreements have come to be placed.
you
Uh,
know, it, it's gonna be crazy. I mean, you got Stanford and Cal in the ACC. You got the Four Corners schools, the two Arizona schools, Utah and Colorado in the Big 12.
right,
You got, it's just, I can't, I mean, I think um, Oregon State and Washington State are the two teams left behind. And I
yeah,
think
they're
that
getting paid though. They're getting paid for doing it.
they're going to get some windfall here, some
Yeah,
money,
right,
you know?
right.
So,
If the school turns that money into nil money for the programs, they could be pretty good.
right,
I mean, if you see those two schools, Washington State, I'm going to say, starting to pay players and bringing in some hired
right,
guns, they could be pretty good because they're going to have a big windfall. I mean, based on this financial agreement, they're going to get the majority of the revenue that's coming in, right? They're going to let them
right,
leave,
that's
but
right,
in return, we get all the money, right?
right,
So we're left holding the bag. So that
right,
could be pretty good for them, actually.
right, right,
I mean, I don't know. I know in basketball they're going to be playing in the West Coast Conference, so with Gonzaga and St. Mary's in that crew,
right.
those will be interesting games. Adding those two teams, that'll make that conference a lot stronger. And then in football, they're going to do the Mountain West, I guess, right? Is that what
I
they're
think
talking
that's right. I think you have it right. Yeah.
about? Yeah. Okay. All right. So what do you think about the resurgence of the big man, which me and my son Ian, we get into it all the time. He said the 3-point game is here to stay. This is the way basketball should be played. And I'm always like, pound it inside, pound it
Right.
inside, pound it inside. He's like, you're so boring. It's so boring. I was like, the guy's got a layup and he throws it back out to the 3-point line. I don't understand the logic behind that. I don't understand any kind of analytics behind that. But I heard a guy this weekend say, hey, man, if you make three of those 3-pointers, it takes 5 2-pointers to beat you.
Right.
So that's the analytics behind it. But if I got a layup that's 100% percentage shot, as opposed to
Right.
kicking it out for a 30% shot, I'm liking my 100% shot. I don't know. But
Right.
I mean, the three big men that are in the Final Four, they've really much dominated the tournament, right? I mean, Klingon,
Right.
Edie, and Burns,
Right.
unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, they're unstoppable, man.
Right.
What's wrong with that game, Nick? Tell me why we shouldn't
Nothing. I
practice.
mean, nothing. All coaches always, look for the big man, but there just aren't that many of them to go around. But if you have them, yeah, you're gonna ride it, as far as you can.
Yeah, I mean that Klingon guy, they apparently got him higher on the draft board than Edie. Like Edie's like a second round pick. I'm like, if I'm the Washington Wizards, I'm looking at Edie really hard.
Right,
They got a second number one, I'm thinking late in the first round. I am looking at him. I think he's a game changer kind of player, man. He's 7'4" and can actually ball. He's not like goofy 7'4". He's like, coordinated 7'4".
right, right.
What
I agree with you, but people think, oh, he's not going to be that good or whatever, be like Yao Ming or, one of those players. But I mean, 7'4", that's big, man. That's big.
and 300 pounds.
Yeah.
He's thick 7'4". He's not Rob
Right.
Sand. He's not light bulb head. All right, he's
Yeah.
not 7'4", 220. He's
Right.
300.
Right.
He's a big human, a big
Right.
wall of a human.
Right.
He'll block some shots. He'll get some rebounds. He'll score a ton of buckets down low. I would
Right.
draft him. I would draft him in the top 10, to be honest with you. I mean, I think you take a 6'7" wing guy instead of him because you can occasionally hit a three ball. I think is short sighted as hell, man. I'm sorry. I wouldn't do that, but
Right.
I'm not a GM. So all right, let's talk about the
But you
final
make good
four.
picks.
Huh?
What? I said, but you make some good picks last week.
Yeah. Let's talk about the let's preview the final four. UConn, Bama, um, and Purdue, NC State, man. I mean, I think UConn's gonna win. Do they
Right.
do they cover though? 11 and a half. It's a lot of points, man. A lot of points. And I heard today that Nate Oates actually was on Bobby Hurley's squad in Buffalo. I don't know if you knew that.
Right.
And his top player, Danny Hurley's one of his players at Rhode Island was played for Nate Oates in Michigan, high school ball. So Nate Oates and the Hurleys are very well, they know each other pretty well and
Right.
how each other think and all that stuff. So that's got to help Alabama, right?
Right. But as you would say, Danny Hurley might be a savage. He might be like, yeah, let's run it up.
Oh no, he's a straight savage.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
doubt. I mean,
Right.
a buddy of mine who coached college ball knows him. He's a great coach, horrible human,
Right.
and that was how he described him.
Mm.
I think Bama. I like them to cover. I don't think they can beat UConn though. I think UConn's
Oh,
got another gear that no other team has in the tournament. And
right.
if they go to that gear, they're. I mean, Stephen Castle, top recruit, doesn't even start. He comes off the bench and he's really good, man. I mean,
Right.
really good. The guys who do play for them are really good as well, man. I mean, how do you see it?
Yeah, I think it's UConn's tournament to lose. I mean, when they put Illinois, as we said, Illinois is a good team, and they gave them a hard beat down.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, is Alabama better than Illinois? Probably not. You know.
Yeah, I no, I don't think they are either. I don't, but so you like UConn to cover there at 11 and a half.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna take Bama to stay in the game and hit some threes, but I also like the over. I think that's
Oh,
gonna
the
be
over is good. Yeah,
170 is the under over. I think that's gonna be a high scoring affair of a bunch of dudes flying around. A 90-point game, I predict.
right,
I think that game is gonna be a lot of flying around.
right,
170 is a lot of points for the power.
right. Yeah, it's 90 to 80.
Yeah, I see a lot of flying around in that game. So I'm gonna take the over in Bama there. Um, what about Purdue, NC State, Nick? How do you see that?
Close. I think that'll be a close game. I think NC State will cover that.
9.5.
Yeah, they'll cover 9.5.
But you see Purdue winning?
I do see Purdue winning.
See, I see Purdue losing. I I I think NC State is a tough it's a tough draw for them. The
Right,
times I've seen Edie lose, I saw him lose to Maryland last year in person, and
right,
I've seen him lose before on TV as well, is when he has to play defense, it diminishes him on the offensive end. It tires him out. And Burns is going to have him playing some defense. He's going to have to DM
right,
Burns, right?
right.
And I think that will wear Edie down on the offensive end. I think his offensive game will suffer for that. And I think NC State has some really dynamic other pieces, man, that are really good team kind of oriented players. I'm going to take NC State on the money line at
All
plus
right,
3.
all right.
And
Cool.
I like the under there. I think that game's going to go low. I
All
like the
right,
under and NC State on the money line. I think it'll be NC State and UConn in the final. It's not what Cinderella wants. It's not what CBS wants, but
right,
um, I don't think, you never can predict these things. Um,
right.
and I mean, then let's talk about the final. Okay, so you have Purdue, UConn, and what do you like there?
I mean, we can. I can. Take NC State. I think NC State would have a tough time in a final against UConn. I think they would, like you were saying last week with Houston Duke. NC State would be a little tired, and I don't know if UConn's a team you want to face tired.
No, because they run up and down the court.
Right,
They're
right.
fast. No, no. If it's UConn, NC State, my pick, I think
Yeah,
UConn trounces them. I think
yeah,
it's over for NC State.
yeah.
Um, so I like UConn to win it all. But I don't. But I think NC State's going to beat Purdue. I think that
Right,
Purdue versus UConn, the Miracle, the two number ones, two best teams. I think NC State's going to crash that party, and then UConn beats them in the final. You like
right.
UConn all too, then?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. All right, let's go over our picks from last week. So we did our picks live on the show, and
right.
then I called you on Saturday, and we did the Elite Eight as well. So on the Sweet 16 picks, we were both 5-3. It's uncanny how close how how we got the same record for both
Right,
parts of the weekend. So you had UConn, I had UConn. They crushed San Diego State, right? They beat them by
right,
30. San Diego State's a pretty good team too, by the way.
right,
They hung 30 on them.
right.
Illinois, Iowa State. You had Iowa State. I know you've liked Iowa State all year long,
Yeah,
and I liked Illinois back in what I've been saying, and they won in a close one.
right.
Um,
Illinois played really well.
yeah, yeah, they did. Um, then UNC Alabama. I've watched a lot of all these games, by the way. I watched a lot of basketball this weekend.
Good.
Um, UNC was up that whole game, then Alabama at the end just took it from them, basically, right?
Right.
I mean, I thought UNC was going to win that game, man. They just don't play any defense, man. I mean, it's Hubert Davis's team. It's not Roy Williams, but for some reason they just don't play any D at UNC. They're all about scoring, and defense
Right.
is just. If they ever got their defense together, like with Roy's teams, when they did play defense, they won championships. But
Right.
Jesus, they don't play any D at all. And then Clemson knocking off Arizona, that was kind of stunning, right?
Yeah.
But we both like Clemson.
Right.
And I liked UNC, you like Bama, so you nailed that one. And then we both like Clemson. So
Yeah.
that
I
puts it. Go ahead.
I didn't have a strong feeling about Bama though. That was maybe sort of a lucky pick.
Yeah, I thought UNC would beat them. So
Yeah.
and we both like Clemson to play Arizona tough. 6.5's a
Right.
lot of points. And they just straight up beat them. I mean, Clemson looked really the part there.
Right.
Um, and then Houston Duke, which I thought was a great game. I don't know if you watched any of
I
that.
did.
Um, Snead got hurt, and that kind of ended the game for Houston because they were up
Right.
8-0 before he went down.
Right.
They looked like men against boys, right? I mean, they
Right.
were punking Duke. And then he went down, they kind of lost their gas, and he's
Right.
their best player. I mean, you can't win without your best player.
Right. Right.
Duke barely beat them. We both, you picked Duke, I picked Houston in that game. So you got that game. And then NC State Marquette, we both picked Marquette thinking NC State's miracle's over, right? They're done. Nice run.
Right.
Marquette's been great all year. No, NC State beats them straight up by 10. Um, and then Purdue, Gonzaga. You picked Gonzaga, who you said I love so much. I don't.
Yeah.
It makes
I
me.
love.
I love them so much. It makes me crazy or something. I don't know what
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And I like Purdue there, and they beat them by 12. They had no answers for Edie. I mean, it was just
Right.
too much of him down low, man. And
Right.
then we both liked Tennessee, and they won over Creighton. I know Creighton was like the sweet pick, right? Everyone liked Creighton.
Right.
And then so that put us each at that was what, 8, we were both 5-3 there in the Sweet 16. Then we get to the Elite Eight. We were both 3-1 there. So
All right.
8-4 for the second weekend. That's like brilliant shit, by the way. That's a really good record with the point spread. First game, UConn, Illinois. I liked Illinois. You like UConn. 30-0 run to start the second half. That was it, right? That was the
Yeah.
game.
Enough
You,
said. Yeah.
Illinois was in the game in the first half, but UConn played not very good. They didn't hit anything. They were still winning by like I think 5 at the half. And then they ran off 30 straight on them. And that was I mean, they could not score. Illinois
Right.
could not get a bucket. And they went inside, it got blocked. They took a shot, it got defended. And then they were running out on every play. It was like schoolyard almost, right? I mean,
Right.
Jesus, terrible. Um, Bama, Clemson, we both like Bama. And I'd said to you, Bama's way too athletic for them. There's no
Yeah.
Clemson keep up. And they also hit 16 threes at a 44% percentage. So that's pretty sweet for Bama. If they
Right.
do that against Connecticut,
UConn.
they'll be in that game.
Right.
Don't you think? If they go
Yeah.
44% on 16 threes, I think they'll be in that game with UConn. That's what they're going to
Yeah.
have to do to be in the game,
Right.
actually. If they
Yeah.
don't do that, they're going to get trounced.
Right.
Um, Duke, NC State. I liked NC State. You also liked NC State. And NC State beat them straight up by 12, man.
Right.
My boy DJ Burns was wheeling and dealing. I mean,
Yeah. He's a house man.
his buckets come from all angles, all sizes, underneath, over the top, swoopsy doo. I mean, just he just didn't miss, and they're all 3-4 footers. Don't get me wrong, but you still got somebody in your face every time you shoot, right?
Right. It's not easy.
And he fouled out Filipowski too, like with like 4 minutes left, and that was the game. They lose him;
Right.
he's their best player. It was so good to see Duke lose though, because they were in
And
that
then
game.
it was down too, and they came
Yeah,
back.
they were down, I think, as much as 14 in that game. NC
Yeah.
State was, and they came back and won it. And then Purdue, Tennessee, I thought was a really good game as well. Um, you like Tennessee, I like Purdue, and
Good call.
yeah, and Edie, with 40 points, and they also went to the line 33 times. That's a lot. It's a lot of
Right.
free throws. To the 11 for Tennessee. I know Rick Barnes was a little pissed after the game about that.
Right.
But they play an inside game, not a 3-point game, so you're going to get more free throws. That's the benefit of going inside, by the way.
Right.
Going to get more free throws. So after the second weekend, my record for the tournament is 39-21, and you're 37-23.
Nothing wrong with that. I'll take that.
No, no, there's nothing wrong with that, man. And so for the final four, you like UConn, right?
Yeah.
In the first game. And I like Bama with the points, man.
Okay.
Um, And then the second game, you like Purdue?
I like NC State.
Oh, you changed?
Yeah, I like NC State. I mean, with the points.
Yeah. And I also like NC State. I think they're going to be a tough matchup for them. And then the final, we both like UConn to win it all, right? Which I think is
Yeah,
a good pick.
right.
All right. Anything else going on you want to talk about?
Let me,
Season's winding down. This is it. I do think it's been a really good basketball season, but the cream has risen to the top. I mean, Bama, they're a 4 seed, but they're loaded. They're a good team, man. They
right.
could easily have been a 1 or 2 seed if they won a few more games. They're one of the elite programs. NC State's the only one crashing the party, and you know, I don't know. Did you see the interview with Burns after the game?
No.
So after the game, they asked him, they're like, what happened? How did this team turn around? And he's like, well, to be honest with you, we all just started showing up on time. We stopped coming in late to everything, and we started
Right,
taking things a little more serious, and then we came together. I was like, oh
right,
my God, I can't believe you just said that. So
right,
apparently they were a team of just a bunch of guys that showed up when they wanted to, and finally they got serious about their ball, and this is the result of it, man. I mean,
right,
they're a pretty good team, and they're fun to watch. They defend
right.
and they run around, and I kind of like that team, man. I hate
One of the players is from Maryland, right? A Maryland lacrosse player, O'Donnell or O'Connell.
O'Connell is.
Yeah.
He transferred not from Maryland.
Um,
I thought he's from upstate New York, from Syracuse.
oh, maybe. I just saw something. He has some connection to
No,
Maryland.
Cam Spencer is a
Oh,
Maryland guy from
oh,
UConn, played lacrosse, went to Loyola, played basketball and lacrosse at Loyola, then transferred to Rutgers, then transferred to UConn. Cam
yeah,
Spencer's from Maryland. He's the big connection.
right.
No, but O'Connell is from upstate New York.
Oh, okay.
Um, but he's a portal guy. I'm not sure where he
Right,
came from, but it's
right,
I I read where he was from, but I forgot.
right.
So spring football's in the air. It's going full speed. I'm going to practice next Tuesday. I'm looking forward to that. I understand you're going to come to the red and white game. That'll be fun.
Yep,
You'll
yep.
enjoy that. So you're always welcome to come stay at my house,
Okay,
wherever. I don't know if you're going to come in on Saturday or come in Friday night, but whatever. Anything's good.
okay.
Um, any news from football that you've heard this spring?
Uh, I can't think of anything.
Anything else in the basketball front?
Can't think of anything.
All right, man. Well, enjoy the
You know.
Final Four. What are you doing for the game?
Well, I just go out to a local place and watch. Let me think. Uh, here's one you had. Okie State hired Steve Lutz from Western Kentucky.
What say you about him?
I don't know anything about him.
Lutz the Klutz? I mean, is
Yeah,
he what did he win at Western Kentucky?
I guess. Yeah,
Well, that's good they got somebody. Yeah, I did write that
yeah,
down. It's good they got somebody. I mean, Jesus.
yeah.
Um, I wonder where USC goes now. We spoke about this a little bit, that
Right.
they're looking at the muscle.
Oh yeah, Eric Musselman from Arkansas.
Yeah.
They're going to make him into as former coach Will Wade said, a strong ass offer.
It is USC, and the muscle has. I mean, he won big at Arkansas. He won the two Elite Eights in a row,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
he stunk the last couple of years. But you know,
right,
and he's got some dudes, man. They started the nil program early.
right,
They had a top notch nil program. They still do, and he got some dudes, and they were
right,
good. But he never could get him over the hump, and now
right,
maybe he thinks his time is done there at Arkansas.
right,
He only won so much at Arkansas, but at USC, he could be dynamic there. Actually, that could be really good for him and USC. That would be a great hire for USC if the muscle went there. It's the
Right.
muscle's son, right?
So yeah, so we got to explain that to the viewers. So when we say the muscle, it means Musselman, and his father was Bill Musselman, who was a coach at Minnesota and in the college, and I think Minnesota in the pros, and he was around forever, and he was a kind of a wild coach,
Yeah.
and I guess his son's Eric, and the son was at Nevada, Reno, and then Arkansas, and now it looks like he might be headed out to Los Angeles to join the Big Ten. But
That might be pretty good for him, man.
yeah,
It's gonna be great for SC. It's gonna
right,
be a lot worse because they got some dudes on that team. Man. A lot of them are turning pro or leaving,
right,
but Muscle
right,
do well there.
right. I agree. No, he's a basketball coach through and through.
Yeah,
Same as his father.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. He grew up in it. He grew up
Right.
in. There's no doubt. I
I
wonder if
mean,
a guy like Danny Hurley, after he wins back-to-back championships, if he wins it this year, if he would consider going to the pros after this year, because he's obviously a brilliant
yeah,
basketball guy.
right,
Um,
right,
and a guy with that kind of ego, with the Hurley brand, I
right,
could see him looking at a pro job at the end of the year.
right,
I could totally see him looking at a pro job to see if he can do it at that level, you know?
right, right.
I mean, I don't know, but I could see that completely seeing that job opening up.
Good call. Yeah.
And that's become a blue blood program now, right?
Oh yeah,
UConn.
they've been a top program for 30 years now.
Yeah, their
35 years.
women's program is top notch.
Right,
They're another Final Four for Gino.
right,
His 23rd Final Four.
right,
Unbelievable. Did
right.
you watch any of the Caitlin Clark LSU game?
A little bit, just a little bit,
Yeah.
but it got a huge rating number.
Yeah, I saw that. Angel played tough. This Kayla, I mean, if you watch any of that, I mean, the shots she hits, man, they're Curry like. I mean, they are
Right,
deep, deep. Average 3-pointers she made this year was 26 feet and change.
right.
That's
Yeah,
beyond. I think the pros is 24, right? Is that what the pros is?
yeah. I think that's right.
So she's beyond pro range on the average, and it's unbelievable her range. And they're not easy shots. They're usually step backs or pull ups or on
Right,
the break or dribble backwards and shoot off a back foot. I mean, uncanny. I mean, I think she's going to be a great pro too. I mean, hopefully State Farm hangs on to her when she turns pro because they're paying her a lot of money and she seems to sell tickets, you know.
right,
She's a show, man. She is an absolute show. She's turning pro
right.
also.
Yeah,
That the women's sports are gonna miss her and Angel not being in it, but there's another star coming right behind him, man. Always
right,
is. All right, Nicky.
right. Okay. Anything else? We got to cover anything else?
No, man,
I
that's
think
it.
we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
See you.
Okay. Until next week, sir.
Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.